All right, welcome to This Explainer. And this one is specifically for you students at OG School, because we're going to tackle a question that's probably on a lot of your minds. With the kind of life-changing wealth that crypto can generate, how do you make sure you don't lose sight of what's actually important? This is all about what it means to steward that prosperity as a modern believer.
So let's just cut right to the chase, because this is the core idea of our entire conversation. The biggest threat to your faith, it's not the number in your crypto wallet. It's what that number and the comfort it brings can silently start to replace in your heart.
Okay, first things first, we have got to bust a major myth right now. This idea that you can't be wealthy and be a person of faith, it's just not true. And we have to get past that if we're going to build a healthy, solid mindset around the success that's coming your way.
I mean, think about it for a second. The Bible is literally full of OGs who are both incredibly faithful and seriously wealthy. You got Abraham, Job, David, Solomon. These guys were basically the original crypto whales of their time. The point is clear. God is not against wealth.
In fact, Scripture actually says that God takes pleasure in the prosperity of his people. So if the wealth itself isn't the problem, what is? Well, that's what we need to get into.
And this is where it gets really real. The danger isn't having a ton of money, it's the comfort that money buys. See, it's not some big, dramatic fall from faith that you need to watch out for. No, it's a slow fade. Something that happens when life just gets a little too comfortable.
And that brings us to what the source material calls the comfort trap. It's that state where your portfolio can handle any emergency, you know? Your stress levels are down, you feel totally secure, and you slowly start relying on your crypto instead of God. It's a really subtle but incredibly dangerous shift.
And look, this slide lays out exactly how it happens. 1, your money solves your problems. 2, your dependence on God starts to shrink. 3, prayer stops being essential and becomes optional. And right there, just like that, without you even realizing it, a quiet neglect of your faith has already begun.
And listen, this is not a new problem. The Bible talks about this exact thing. It's the Laodicean condition. You can be financially rich, absolutely stacked, but spiritually bankrupt because you've lost that sense of urgency, that deep need for something more than what your money can buy.
So here's a pretty wild thought for you. What if being rich is actually a bigger test of your faith than being poor? I know, it sounds completely backward, but let's break down why that might just be true.
This slide right here really gets to the heart of the whole thing. When you're broke, when you've got nothing else, you pray because you have to. It is a lifeline. But when you're comfortable, prayer becomes a choice. And that, my friends, is a much, much harder test of your commitment.
So here's the bottom line. Poverty tests your faith, for sure. But prosperity, it tests your priorities. Is God still your number one when you don't technically need him to be? Now that is the real challenge, isn't it?
Now, in the crypto world, this next idea is huge. The biggest battle you're going to face isn't about avoiding buying a Lamborghini, it's about managing your attention. The constant stream of charts, the news, the social media, it's a massive distraction from what actually matters.
So just take a hard look at this. Be honest with yourself. You might spend hours a day looking at charts and scrolling crypto Twitter. But how many minutes, not hours, but minutes, are you giving to your spiritual life? It's probably time we all did a little attention on it. And for all of you at OG School, this is absolutely critical to understand. Sudden crypto wealth isn't going to make you a bad person overnight. That's not how it works. What it will do is attack your discipline. All those habits, all those routines that keep you grounded, they can just disappear in a heartbeat if you're not careful.
So how do you actually navigate all this? How do you win? Well, it's all about adopting what the source calls the OG wealth mindset. It's the game plan for staying spiritually anchored while you build your wealth.
And it all starts with understanding what God really truly wants from you. And spoiler alert, it is not your crypto. He wants your attention. He wants your dependence, your trust. He wants to be your number one priority, no matter how many zeros are in your wallet. So you see, this isn't about choosing between God and wealth. It's about putting God first and then letting your wealth serve his purposes. The wealth becomes a tool, not your master.
So I'm going to leave you with this one final challenge. The question you need to be asking yourself isn't how can I enjoy my wealth? The real question, the one that matters, is this. How can I stay dependent on God while I prosper? Because at the end of the day, the biggest risk you face isn't a market crash. It's forgetting who gave you the ability to succeed in the first place.